big thing with last year's season and trying to improve upon it. A lot of it was depth, right? I had some concerns there. We had a pretty solid 5, and losing any one person from there hurt us a couple times during the season. And of course, we had our weather setback, so nothing we can do about that. But if we have no hurricane disasters, that would improve it greatly. This year, we're, I'd say, almost probably 12 runners deep at the same quality that we were last year for 5. So we added a lot of good freshmen. That's going to improve upon it just there. If somebody, for some reason, goes down, we've got 2 and 3 people that can fill those spots. We're going to be able to travel a little bit more and not be stuck in Florida, get to a little cooler weather when we need to. So all those things are going to help make this season a little bit better. So everyone's very young still. Key returners we have coming in, I think really strong, looking very strong so far this season. Emily Christensen is doing very well. Allie Jones also was all-conference performer last year. She's having a pretty good training camp so far. Freshmen, we've got a good group of freshmen, so adding a lot of depth. Emmanuel will do very well this year. So will Taryn Super from Arizona. She'll do very well. And then we have another freshman, Rachel Ramirez from Florida. She'll do pretty well. She's surprising a lot of us coaches right now, so she'll do very well. So schedule is pretty big. We tried to get as much cross-region competition as we could do at this point with the size of the roster that we have. So the big stuff we're doing, we're starting off FAU like normal, and that's kind of our standard, I guess, just dip your toe in the water race that we're doing, just to kind of see where everybody's at, what the mood is for everybody's, I guess, racing ability at that point in the year. But shortly after that, we want to go out to, or we are going out to Montevallo, to Alabama. There should be a lot of competition there from multiple regions, so that'll help getting some cross-region competition. And then again, we're going to the Royal Challenge in October. But being this a festival year, we're taking our normal conference weekend and going out to USC Beaufort. That's the Sand Shark Invitational is a very big NAIA race. Usually has a 20 to 30 team draw. Some of the best NAIA teams in the country. And I know there will be a bunch of Division II competition there this year too, because that's just an extended season. So it should, looking forward to, probably 30 to probably 35 teams there that are pretty high quality, and that'll be kind of our tune-up before conference. So we're getting out of state a lot this year. This team, compared to last year, I mean, we only really lost one significant athlete to last year to a transfer situation. So pretty much everybody is coming back that played a big role. We have a ton of sophomores, and really banking on them being a year older, just making less basic like freshman errors in racing and getting out too quick and not really showing a lot of restraint on a cross-country course. So we're much more balanced this year, a lot more team-oriented. So that's the big difference comparing this team to last year, not to mention that we're coming into camp with 25 runners as opposed to 18 last year. It makes a huge difference. So ways to keep this season going well with the guys, I mean, it's always interesting. This is the 3rd time in my career where I've started a men's program from the beginning. I guess the key to this, or I guess the theme of our preseason has been, I guess, like eagerness and hunger, right? It's a lot of guys trying to go out and kind of show what they can do, really not knowing to expect, and without any, I guess, juniors and seniors around to kind of lead and kind of walk people through what is an 8K like, what is a 10K like. Some of these guys have done that distance in like a road race or, just some kind of local thing, but not at the Division II level. So, it's going to take a lot of patience, and we can really practice that. And I know Coach Cook is definitely working with the guys on just doing what you need to do right now and nothing more. It's a long season, so it's going to be interesting for a bunch of 18-year-old guys to run in a festival year where you're already kind of worn out. We're taking it 2 weeks longer, so we just need to be patient. Yeah, so we've been fortunate enough to recruit a pretty good top to bottom roster. I think there's not a guy on there from, like I said, top to bottom that couldn't surprise the conference and maybe even the region. Just off paper, I know Nathan Kowalski put in a really good summer of training, so he'll probably be right up there at the top of our lineup, 1-2, I'm sure. Other guys that are going to do some pretty cool things. I'm sure Brian Ryder will have a good season. Also probably looking at Julian to have a good season as well. He's very fit coming in. And then, geez, from runner number 4 down to runner number 10, it's kind of a wash. It's who's feeling good that day. Fitness level's very level across the board, so anybody could jump up on any given day. So we're kind of looking for strength in numbers, and geez, we could be 10 deep, you know, and the goal is to be, you know, through the line with about a 30-second time differential. I think this team can do that on an 8K or even a 10K. Yeah, so the schedule is almost identical. This freshman group is pretty lucky. It's not every day that you get a team full of freshmen and you're getting on airplanes and you're chartering out of state and things like that. The main difference between the men's schedule and the women's schedule, the women are very heavy in early season. Just experience has shown that trying to keep the middle of the cross country season light so we don't have any storm issues. But the women are going to Florida Tech and the men are going to Gainesville to race at University of Florida. And that's like the big significant difference in the middle of the season. So the guys are going out to Gainesville. Like I said, women are going to Melbourne to race Florida Tech, and that's really the only difference throughout everything else. Everybody's going to North Carolina, to Alabama, and up to USC Beaufort. So yeah, it's a pretty standard for both.